In the heart of a vibrant village of Okuku Kingdom, Chief Obidi and his elegant wife, Ifeka, stood as a beacon of influence and grace. Despite their affluence and esteemed status, a silent sorrow lingered between them. Their home was void of the laughter and joy that children bring. 12 years of marriage had passed, yet the couple remained childless, a situation that weighed heavily on their hearts. Ifeka was known throughout the Okuku Kingdom for her unparalleled kindness and generosity, especially towards the widows of the village. Despite the personal sorrow that shadowed her heart due to her own childlessness, she poured her love and care into the community, becoming a beacon of hope and comfort. Her elegant demeanor was matched by the warmth and compassion she showed to those in need. Every morning, with the first rays of sunlight casting a golden glow over the village, Ifeka would set out, her baskets filled with food and clothing, meticulously prepared the night before. Her visits to the widows were not mere acts of charity, but moments of genuine connection and empathy. She knew each of their stories, their struggles, and their needs. With a gentle smile and words of encouragement, she would hand out her gifts, ensuring that not only were their immediate needs met, but their spirits were lifted as well. The sight of Ifeka with her graceful steps and the swaying of her vibrant traditional attire became a symbol of hope and reassurance to the villagers. One day, an invitation arrived from Okenwa and his wife, dear friends of the couple, to celebrate a joyous occasion. Okenwa's second wife had given birth to a son after 11 years of marriage, a miracle that filled their home with immense happiness. Chief Obidi and Ifeka, with mixed emotions, decided to attend, hoping to find some solace in their friend's happiness. As they arrived at the celebration, the atmosphere was electric with joy and gratitude. Okenwa, beaming with pride, welcomed them warmly. Chief Obidi and Ifeka, your presence here today means the world to us, he began, his voice resonating with genuine happiness. To have friends like you to share in our joy after so many years of waiting is a true blessing. The gathering listened intently as Okenwa recounted his journey.
For 11 long years, my first wife and I yearned for the cry of a baby in our home. Despite our wealth and comfort, a void remained in our hearts. But then, a revelation came to me. With my wife's understanding and support, we decided to welcome a second wife into our family.
He paused, his eyes reflecting the depth of his journey.
It was a decision made with much thought and love. And now, by the grace of God, we have been blessed with a son, a bouncing baby boy who has brought unparalleled joy into our lives.
Ifeka felt a stir of emotions as she listened, her heart aching yet filled with hope. She glanced at Chief Obidi, her husband, sensing his contemplation. The story of Okenwa and his family sparked a silent conversation between them, a consideration of possibilities they had yet to explore. As the celebration continued, Ifeka and Chief Obidi found themselves enveloped in the warmth and happiness of their friend's family. The laughter, the tears of joy, and the shared stories of perseverance and faith painted a picture of what could be, offering a glimmer of hope to their longing hearts. The day left a lasting impression on Chief Obidi and Ifeka, prompting deep conversations and reflections on their journey together. Sensing the need for solitude and reflection, they decided to take their leave earlier than planned. Polite goodbyes were exchanged, with Okenwa and his wife expressing their gratitude for the couple's presence. "Thank you for being here with us. It means so much," Okenwa said, clasping Chief Obidi's hand warmly. Ifeka offered a gentle smile, her eyes glinting with unshed tears as she hugged Okenwa's wife. The journey back home was enveloped in a reflective silence, each lost in their thoughts. The vibrant celebrations at Okenwa's house now seemed like a distant echo as they returned to the quietude of their own home. The stark contrast only deepened the pang of longing in their hearts. Once inside, the couple found themselves in the familiar surroundings of their home, a place filled with love and memories, yet missing the pitter-patter of tiny feet. Chief Obidi looked at Ifeka, the pain evident in his eyes.
Today was beautiful, yet so poignant for us. I feel the weight of our longing more than ever.
Ifeka nodded, her own heart heavy with unspoken words. I know my husband, she replied, her voice barely above a whisper.
Seeing their happiness, their complete family, it's a reminder of what we've been missing, what we've been yearning for all these years.
Ifeka implored, her voice a soft whisper in the tense silence. The next day, Ifeka found her husband, Chief Obidi, secluded and brooding, a deep frown etching his features. She approached him gently, her heart heavy with the unspoken pain they both shared.
My love, what burdens your heart so? Please talk to me.
Chief Obidi's response was tinged with frustration and impatience.
Ifeka, we've been over this countless times. I need a child. Our home needs the laughter of a child. I'm not getting any younger, and the absence of a child is becoming unbearable,
he confessed, his voice breaking with emotion. Ifeka's eyes filled with tears as she listened to her husband's pain. In a moment of desperation and love, she reached out to him.
My dear husband, please forgive me if I have in any way contributed to this pain. I love you deeply, and it tears me apart to see you like this. I am willing to do anything to bring you happiness.
Ifeka professed, her voice choked with emotion. The idea of bringing in a second wife was abhorrent to Ifeka, but seeing the depth of her husband's despair, she made a heartbreaking proposition.
If it is a child that will fill our home with joy, then let me be the one to choose the woman. At least this way, I will know who I am bringing into our home, and we can maintain peace.
Her voice barely above a whisper. Chief Obidi was taken aback by Ifeka's offer. The thought of another wife had been a distant consideration, one he hadn't truly entertained until now. Ifeka, you know I love you. This decision is not easy for me either. But if you are willing to consider this, then I trust your judgment. Let's ensure that peace reigns in our home, no matter the path we take, he agreed, a mix of gratitude and sorrow in his eyes. The decision was made, but not without its share of heartache. Ifeka confided in her friend, sharing her fears and the pact she had made with her husband.
I cannot bear the thought of another woman taking my place in Obidi's heart, nor can I stand the discord that might arise. This is why I have chosen to bring in the second wife myself. I need someone I can trust, someone who won't disrupt the peace of our home.
Ifeka explained, her voice laden with a heavy heart. Her friend, touched by Ifeka's predicament, offered her support.
Ifeka, your love for your husband and your sacrifice is beyond measure. I will stand by you through this, and I promise we will find a way to maintain peace and harmony in your home.
Together, they embarked on a journey filled with uncertainty and hope, driven by love and the desire for a child. Ifeka's brave decision to bring in a second wife herself was a testament to her unwavering love for her husband and her deep desire to see him happy, even if it meant sharing him in a way she never imagined. In a tale that weaves together the threads of love, sacrifice, and the complexities of human relationships, Ifeka found herself at a crossroads, desperate to see her husband, Chief Obidi, fulfilled with the joy of fatherhood. Ifeka turned to her best friend, Ezika, as a last resort. Initially hesitant, Ifeka eventually embraced the idea, moved by Ifeka's heartfelt plea. With a mixture of apprehension and hope, Ifeka introduced Ifeka to Chief Obidi, who was elated at the prospect of his long-awaited dream coming to fruition. The integration of Ifeka into their lives was seamless, and Ifeka felt a surge of relief and optimism, believing she had made the best decision for all involved. She welcomed Ifeka with open arms, sharing not just her home but also her most prized possessions, including cherished expensive jewelry as a token of her trust and affection. Ifeka's generosity knew no bounds. She treated Ifeka with the utmost care, her actions driven by a deep-seated hope that this arrangement would bring happiness to their home. When Ifeka announced her pregnancy, Ifeka's joy was palpable. She doted on Ifeka, her kindness and attention unwavering, as if Ifeka were a cherished member of the family. Despite her own longing, Ifeka found solace in Ifeka's happiness, her actions a testament to her immense capacity for love and selflessness. The birth of Ifeka, a beautiful baby girl, brought a new dawn to their household. Ifeka and her husband, Chief Obidi, embraced the child with all the love they could muster, her heart swelling with a bittersweet joy. In the quiet hush of the early dawn, with the first rays of sunlight piercing through the darkness, Chief Obidi stood by the window, his gaze lost in the vast expanse of the awakening world. The air was filled with a sense of renewal, a silent witness to the profound transformation unfolding within him. As he turned his gaze back to the room, his eyes fell upon Ifeka, his newborn daughter, cradled gently in her mother's arms. In that moment, the floodgates of his heart burst open, releasing a torrent of emotions that he had held back for years. Chief Obidi cradled Ifeka in his arms, his rough, battle-scarred hands gently caressing her delicate cheeks, his eyes shimmering with unshed tears. With a voice trembling with emotion, Chief Obidi spoke, his words a raw and powerful testament to the depth of his feelings.
Ifeka, my little sunrise, you have brought light into a world I feared was forever condemned to darkness. For years, your mother and I have prayed, our hearts heavy with longing, our spirits tested by the silence of the gods. And now, as I stand before you, I am humbled by your presence, my heart ablaze with a love so fierce, it threatens to consume me. My daughter, you are the dawn after the longest night, the first breath of spring after a relentless winter. In you, I see the promise of new beginnings, the hope of a legacy that will transcend the sands of time. For so long I have been a warrior, my life defined by battles fought and territories conquered. But today, I stand before you, a father, my greatest victory not one claimed on the battlefield, but here, in the quiet sanctity of our home, in the miracle of your life. Today, Ifeka, you have given me the greatest honor, the most sacred duty. I vow to be your protector, your guide, your unwavering support. I will lay down the spears and shields, for my greatest battles will now be fought for you, my child. In your laughter, I will find my peace, and in your happiness, my purpose.
Behind the smiles and celebrations, however, Ifeka's soul harbored a silent prayer. In the solitude of her inner sanctum, she poured out her heart to the heavens, pleading for the blessing of her own child to hold and cherish. As Ifeka navigated this complex tapestry of relationships, her grace and resilience shone brightly. Her story is a poignant reminder of the strength of the human spirit, the power of love to transcend conventional boundaries, and the enduring hope that burns in the heart of those who face life's greatest challenges. In the once harmonious home of Chief Obidi, a storm was brewing, one that threatened to tear apart the fabric of their lives. The initial joy brought by Ezeka's arrival and the birth of Ezioma was soon overshadowed by an unexpected blessing. Ifeka, against all odds, became pregnant. This news filled the household with a renewed sense of hope and joy, especially for Ifeka and Chief Obidi, who saw it as a divine answer to their prayers. However, beneath the veneer of shared happiness, envy and malice began to take root in Ezeka's heart. The thought of Ifeka bearing a male child, a symbol of lasting legacy in Agboka village, ignited a fierce jealousy within her. She masked her bitterness with feigned joy, but her actions soon betrayed her true feelings. Ezeka's demeanor towards Ifeka shifted. She became irritable, often finding petty reasons to slight Ifeka, even going so far as to exclude her from meals, a clear sign of disrespect in their culture. Driven by her envy, Ezeka concocted a malicious plan to tarnish Ifeka's reputation. She spread vile rumors, claiming to have caught Ifeka in a compromising situation with another man. To lend credence to her lies, she enlisted the help of a close friend, Nairobi, who falsely corroborated her story. When confronted with these accusations, Chief Obidi was initially incredulous, unable to fathom Ifeka's involvement in such an act. However, the weight of Nairobi's false testimony tipped the scales, compelling him to believe the unthinkable. Ezeka, feigning concern, pleaded with Chief Obidi to keep this matter from Ifeka, fearing retribution and claiming it would only bring more strife to their home. Chief Obidi, now convinced of Ifeka's alleged betrayal, harbored a silent resentment. His once tender glances turned cold, and he found fault in everything Ifeka did. The home that was filled with love and laughter became a battleground, with Ifeka unwittingly at the center of it all. Unaware of the source of her husband's sudden animosity, she was subjected to his increasing ire, which escalated to verbal and physical abuse, leaving her both confused and heartbroken. Amidst this turmoil, Ezeka reveled in Ifeka's misery, her laughter echoing in the shadows as she continued to weave her web of deceit, ensuring Chief Obidi's anger towards Ifeka remained fueled. Her actions were ruthless, driven by a deep-seated envy that blinded her to the pain she was inflicting on a once happy family. In the once peaceful village of Agboka, the malicious rumors spread by Ezeka had taken root, casting a dark shadow over Ifeka's life. The once respected wife of Chief Obidi was now subject to scorn and ridicule, her name tarnished by the false accusations of infidelity. The whispers and jeers followed her everywhere, the villagers casting judgmental glares, their words sharp as knives, branding her a pariah in her own community. Amidst this turmoil, Ifeka's health began to falter. One morning, she awoke feeling gravely ill, her body weak, barely able to muster the strength to stand. In her time of need, she turned to her husband, hoping for a semblance of the compassion and care that once defined their relationship. Yet Chief Obidi's heart had turned cold, hardened by the lies woven by Ezeka. "This is the karma catching up to you," he declared, his voice devoid of empathy, blaming her for sins she never committed. He refused to offer any assistance, leaving Ifeka to fend for herself in her weakened state, while Ezeka's cruel laughter echoed through the halls of their home. Desperation clawed at Ifeka's heart as she realized the grim reality of her situation. The home that once offered safety and love had become a prison of pain and betrayal. With a heavy heart, she made the agonizing decision to leave, to seek refuge and healing away from the place that had turned against her. Packing a few belongings into a suitcase, she stepped out of the house, each step laden with sorrow and fear. As she reached the threshold of her once cherished home, a moment of profound despair and defiance overcame her. In an act of raw vulnerability and a plea for justice, Ifeka, raising her hands to the heavens. Her voice, filled with anguish and betrayal, called upon the gods of vengeance to witness the injustices she had endured.
Ooh, mighty and ancient gods of my forebears, turn your timeless gaze upon the myriad injustices that have been cruelly cast upon my shoulders. Witness the depth of deceit, the layers of lies that have been meticulously woven around me, a web designed to entangle and ensnare my spirit. Hear my plea, my outcry for justice, and let your divine wrath, as fierce and unyielding as the storm's heart, descend upon those shadowed souls who dare orchestrate this sinister betrayal against me. May your fury be their reckoning, and through your omnipotent might, may the scales of justice be righteously balanced once more.
She cried out, her words a potent mix of pain and resolve. Ifeka and Chief Obidi, witnesses to this poignant moment, met her pleas with mockery and disdain, their laughter a bitter symphony that accompanied her departure. Ifeka, with nothing left but her dignity and the will to survive, continued her solitary journey along the desolate road that led away from her past. Exhausted and overwhelmed by the weight of her plight, Ifeka collapsed by the roadside, her spirit nearly broken. It was then, in her darkest hour, that a vision appeared before her. Her deceased mother, a comforting spectre from a life once filled with love and warmth, stood by her side. This ethereal presence offered a glimmer of hope, a reminder that even in the deepest despair, one is never truly alone.
Eager for more tales, be they magical or grounded in reality? Stay tuned by subscribing and hitting the bell icon so you won't miss our next story. Show some love with a like, share this journey with others, and share your thoughts in the comments. The next chapter awaits, full of surprises and insights. Until then, thank you for being part of our storytelling adventure.